Here with another Brit Wres special. Our guest today is one of the fastest rising stars on the southwest and the south of Wales. She is training down at the Reach Wrestling Academy. She competed for the likes of Reach Wrestling, Phenomenal Elite Wrestling, United Wrestling, Slammsaters Wrestling. Please welcome to our show, Echo Reed. How are you?
Hi guys, I'm really good. How have you guys been?
We're good. Obviously, you saw her. Daniel actually saw you live just this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a fantastic match. I'm sure we'll talk about it in a few minutes' time.
Indeed. We are, of course, Team Tights, the Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on bodyslam.net, brought to you by Power4 TV. I'm your host, the Great British Jackoo, Mr. Andrew Moore, and Dietrich Most, joined as always by the co-host. He is Big Daddy Dan, Mr. Daniel Allen, just Dan for short.
Hello. I'm very happy to have Echo Reed on here because she had one of the standout matches at Phenomenal Elite Wrestling this weekend against Mariah May, and the crowd were firmly on your side. There's no two ways about that, was there?
It helps that I do look quite young, so you got to get a little sympathy cheer.
And Mariah was having one of her temper tantrums.
Yeah, they're quite common where she goes. She loves a tantrum, that one. Likes to bang around and just cry a little bit.
Lots of stomping of the feet.
Yeah, you should have seen her Slam Masters one. She was screaming. Terrible.
You're getting to know Mariah May quite well because literally the last three guests we've had on our show, United Wrestling, Slam Masters Wrestling, and Phenomenal Elite Wrestling, you seem to be coming across her. What's that like? I mean, you've literally number one contenders match, championship match. What's it been like taking on Mariah May?
Well, she is a tough competitor because I'm yet to beat Mariah May. But every match we have is always it's always fun. I just don't get the outcome I want, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, you play the game how you want to play. If she wants to play dirty sometimes, unfortunately, then she will steal that victory away.
She has been using some nefarious means. There's no two ways about that.
And like Slam Masters stole the win from LA Taylor. She had me beat, I'll happily admit that. But Mariah May threw her out, stole the victory. United Wrestling threw LA Taylor out once again, hit me with her belt and got the victory. So it seems to be a common theme.
You mentioned LA Taylor there, somebody you've actually done a lot of training with, and again, somebody you've built quite a fierce little rivalry with.
Yeah, down in Reach, we didn't quite see eye to eye at first, unfortunately. So we didn't start on the greatest of terms. But we've had so many matches now that I have a lot of respect for LA Taylor, bless her. And now that she's kind of eased out of those ways of going down the wrong way, she's now one of the nicest people. I love wrestling with her because we always like take a side now. So us two versus Mariah May. I know there's going to be one winner, but I'm happy if she wins the belt or if I win the belt. I just don't want it on Mariah May anymore.
Of course, you part of that core group of young women who are coming out of Reach Wrestling with Aurora and Ruby as well. All four of you actually competed at that huge Brawl at the Guildhall show. What was that like? 600 people in the crowd. So many big names on the show.
It was a very overwhelming experience because they said how many people were going to be there. And I was like, it wouldn't be that bad. It's nothing different, really. And then I remember when everyone started coming in, and I hid behind the curtain and I watched. I was like, oh no, that is a lot of people. That is a lot of people. And it doesn't really kick in until your music hits, and then you've got to go out there. Because I'm like, I've watched Charlie Sterling go out now. I've watched the Academy guys go out now. They're all fine and they're all hyped up. But then suddenly yours is playing. You're like, oh, I can't turn back now. Kind of got to go forward with this. I remember I came out, and the first thing I could hear was my mum. She's a very, very loud person, bless her. But that's all good. And I could see my whole family got a row together in the balcony. So as I was walking, I could just see them all. And that was quite a nice feeling, knowing that they're all there. But my sister and brother thought it'd be funny to do some weird chants. So they had lots of videos throughout the whole show of them just winding all the wrestlers up. So they had a good time, bless them. But it's quite an overwhelming experience seeing that many people like cheering you on. It feels good though.
You mentioned when your music hit. Do let everybody know what music it is that you're using right now.
It is a classic one with the name in it is Lost in the Echo by Linkin Park, just because it's got the name in. It's got like that nice little drop in it. Gets you hyped before you enter that curtain. And like if I can like come out with some fire, I'm hoping that they'll get along with it as well. Bless them.
I must admit, I watched I watched a full show of the Brawl in the Guildhall, and we talked about Joel Redman being on the show, Charlie Sterling, Nick Riley, and you girls, you didn't seem out of place whatsoever. You 100% looked like you belong. Each one of you came out, you owned the stage, you had such a great match. And as I say, but to work with some of those guys, what was that like? Did you watch the Charlie Sterling Joel Redman match? It was so good.
If you could only see the backstage, there were so many Academy guys watching this match. Like almost all of us were just like trying to peek through the curtain, bless us. We were like, this is going to be a match we want to see, because these are all guys that have helped us and done seminars with us and all want like the Southwest to be like on the map, because they're all from this area as well. And they didn't have that back then. So we all just like, well, you guys have put effort into us. We want to see you guys now. So there was like massive crowd of us just watching that match, and it was amazing. I'll give it that. It was amazing. But oh my,
I saw
that's a setup, isn't it?
I saw you along with a lot of people watching the women's championship match at Phenomenal Elite Wrestling, which was a three-way between Rio, Harley Hudson, and Aurora Tevez. If you could only pick one of those three ladies, who would you like to take on?
Oh, that is a hard question. That is a really hard question, because I want to wrestle all three of them. I'd pick Harley Hudson, because I feel like we could have a lot of fun in there. Like, she's got the pink hair. If it doesn't go well, if it goes great, we could tag. Who knows? But she was an absolute lovely person to meet, and I feel like we could have a really fun match.
I think so too.
And she thinks Plymouth is near Portsmouth, and that's hilarious. Like, not quite. It's still about 3 hours away, but it's close enough. It's southeast.
She'll realise the difference if she has to drive to one of them.
Yeah, she's like, how far is it there? I was like, oh, it's only about 4 hours from Portsmouth, just opposite ends of the coast, no issue. Still south, so it's okay.
Obviously, she had to come. She's a scout. She's Liverpool. She is. So it must have been a bit of a travel for her and yourself. You mentioned we were off screen there. Just let everybody know how hard the drives can be on these trips, because what time did you arrive back home after the show?
We got home just before 3 a.m. So between 2:30 and 3, we get home. And poor Toby Valentine, more often than not, he's the driver. So he's dropping everyone to their house and then going home last, bless him. But for us, if you're from Devon and Cornwall, everything is north. And everything is around 2 hours, like at least, more often for a show. So the car journey usually makes a trip. Like if you're in a car full of people that are really fun, really up for it, it makes the whole journey worthwhile. Because you're in a car for 4 hours with someone that doesn't want to speak, it's like, oh, what a lovely day it's going to be. But if you've got people that, like, we all train together, so we're all like a tight-knit family, which is really nice. So we just have a laugh, have a few sing-songs in the car, especially the girls' road trips. We have some sing-songs in the car every time.
So is it always decided by who's got the biggest car, or does it?
It depends really. If like we did a Vortex show, me, LA, Aurora, and Ruby did a car share up, and we all drove in Ellie Taylor's car, mainly because Aurora is a nervous driver, bless her, but she can drive. She just prefers the countryside roads. More often than not, if Toby Valentine is going, we'll go in his car just because he's got like the biggest boot. There's so much room in that boot. So everyone's got their workers' cases in there. And it's just a more comfortable drive, but we're not really fussy, because if we're not driving, it's not really a bother to us, but it's more for the person driving who has a comfier car, I guess.
Who gets to pick the music?
More often than not, in the girls' one, we'll do like an ABC game. So it'll be like, we take it in turns, ABC, like artists, and you can pick any song from them. And then it depends. Toby's car depends. If he can't be asked, it would be like Heart Radio or something. Sometimes he'll put on his country music or some old school like My Chemical Romance stuff. It depends really on who's in the car and what they like. But Toby Valentine loves some country music, and there's nothing wrong with that.
He had a great match in the four-way against James Mason, H. Hood, and Polish Barry. He stood out well. The crowd really enjoyed him.
He's really good, bless him. He's massive as well, and he don't understand how he just grew up on a farm, lifted everything, and suddenly he's massive. I was like, what?
Huge shoulders.
Like, I would have loved that life. Would have been hench.
All of your Reach lads are. I did question Jason King on what he's feeding you guys down there, because the young academy guys, they're all goddamn buff lads. They're hunky.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
We've got a good bunch of them, bless.
Come on. We'll talk about who are the top talents coming out of there right now. Who do you think would be on a Progress show or a Rev Pro UK show, or even NXT UK in the next few years?
It sounds biased because I love them both very dearly, but Jordan Sparks and Toby Valentine, but both really well as singles, and like they are in the midst of like a sort of feud and Reach. Like they're both the complete opposite. One's a heel, one's a face. But on like camp shows and stuff, like holiday camps, they tag, and they're a really funny tag team. And I would love to see them do that and like somewhere else. Like if they could get that big, they remind me of like Pretty Deadly mixed with like the Best Friends. They're very like cheesy, sleazy lads, but that's their characters, and they find it so funny, and they do it really well. So I would like to see them get like signed as a tag somewhere, because they have so much fun when they're together, and it shows. I refed them once in a camp show, and I couldn't stop laughing. It's like, you can't make me laugh. I'm trying to be an official, and I'm like, stop it. But it's really entertaining, and everyone gets behind it, and like they're booing, but you want to laugh because they look like absolute idiots, but in a good way.
We've been discussing how NXT UK needs some new tag teams, so there we go.
Not many of them, bless them. They're two young lads in good shape. They could fit on any card together as a tag.
Could be the next Smoking Aces, because Nick Riley and Charlie Sterling, they literally came out of nowhere and became probably the best tag team right now in not signed to a major company.
Really, honestly, such lovely things to see, because those two guys have helped so much at Reach, and like have helped us a lot in the academy. They've both done seminars, and like they're there almost at every Reach show. So like if you're in like the locker room with them, you like asking them for feedback, and just being able to like just hear how they put their stuff together. It's like, oh my god, that's amazing. Like, how are these two like not getting anywhere? And then when they got the Progress, it was like, about bloody time. And then they got the belts. Like, this all makes sense now that they're finally getting some recognition, because those two are bloody amazing. Like, I can't do any of the stuff they do, not nearly as good anyway.
And they've just literally been announced for the Rev Pro UK Great British Tag League as well, which is fantastic, because I know they're in Group A, and so are the Arrows of Hungary, who happen to be Dan's favourite European tag team, one of mine as well, and they're going to be facing off against Aussie Open. They are just going to be two amazing matches. I can't wait.
Oh, they put some good matches on at Rev Pro, to be fair.
I really do.
The other day, that's really good for the Southwest. She had Alex Windsor, and she's awesome.
Oh, Alex Windsor is amazing, isn't she? Just little biased, but definitely probably the best right now. She is just so good. She really is.
Very good.
I say it all the time, though.
Great match right there.
Now, you see, I agree.
She's top three at least.
Top three, but for me, it's got to be Rio at the moment.
Rio is amazing. Very
funny girl as well. I will say that. She's very funny. I really liked her. Don't like her in the ring, but she's not so nice there. But backstage, she's really good.
And again, the fans were very against her at PEW, quite verbally against her in a nice way.
Yeah, I think they're quite behind Aurora, bless her, but as they should. She is very good as well.
The lady that I hadn't seen before and was really impressed with that show was Aluna Blue.
Oh my god, she is the loveliest girl you will ever meet. She's so nice. I've only met her once beforehand, because we were meant to tag at Evo, but she got COVID that week, so I didn't get to tag with her, unfortunately. But we've been wanting to tag for a while. And I met her in OCW down in Cornwall, and we had a four-way, and we got to do some tag stuff together, being the only two faces. And I was like, oh, she's just such an easy person to work with, bless her. But she doesn't get to wrestle a lot of women very often, because at Evo, she's like the only woman at Evo. But she's fighting hard to get some good women's matches in there, bless her. And she is succeeding. They've got some good women coming through there now. It's really nice to see.
Yes,
So what's it like down training at the Reach Academy? Because from what Jason was telling me, he likes to work you guys very, very hard.
Yeah, I'll let you know a secret. When I first started, I was 17. I had done lots of sports in school, and I thought, oh, I'm quite athletic. I'm not bad. I've been to the gym, no issue. Yeah, I ain't nothing compared to this. We did so much cardio that for the first like 2 to 3 months, I would throw up every session because I would overwork every time. It would just hurt. We would do back in the old Brickfield days, like when I first started like 3 years ago, it would be like bear crawls, duck walks, touch floor, jump ups, all that stuff, all running around the ring. And then you do your cardio afterwards. That was just the warm up. So it'd kill you. And then you'd have to do 50 squats, 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50 lunges, 50 mountain climbers, 50 burpees. And then for now, we add a run onto it. But back then, if you weren't done, you'd have to, I can't remember what it was. But we had to do all that and all that stuff. And then we'd have to make sure it was only 20 20 burpees if we got the ring up in 30 minutes. If we didn't get the ring up in 30 minutes, it'd be 100 burpees. We only succeeded with the ring up being up for 30 minutes one time. One time in that year we were there, did we get the ring up in 30 minutes. So we was a lot of burpees back then, but now it's just as hard. We do a lot of circuit stuff. It's a smaller group. Would you do like battle ropes and stuff, and you'll just die for 30 minutes. But it's good though, because it keeps you in good shape to be able to do all the stuff in that ring. But oh my God, it kills you. It kills you real good. But you're better for it though, at least.
Well, Ric Flair was always a cardio monster. He always stressed to be a great wrestler, you have to have great cardio. So I get where he's coming from. And from a safety point, so it's really important as well, because if you're blown up and winded after 10 minutes, you're not going to be able to perform the moves as safely as you can.
Yeah, it's like if you're not out of shape, but like unconditioned and you can't do those things, it's more like if you go to do something to someone else and you're too tired to do it, you just don't want to risk hurting that person because you're working together as well as against each other. You just don't want to fully like injure someone, especially in a match. It's like, it really like hurts you as well as them because you're like, oh, that's on me. You just don't want it.
Now, all that hard work and dedication, what's the reason behind it? What made you want to be a wrestler?
I mean, I grew up with two older brothers. I have 3 sisters as well, but my 2 older brothers used to love wrestling. I say used to, they still do now. One more so than that, but he's very, very much a big fanboy. They used to watch all the Attitude Era stuff when I was a kid. I never really understood what the hell they were watching. They just kept picking me up and throwing me. So I was like, I don't understand this, but okay, ow. And then I remember being like 7, 8, and I was like, oh, I actually do want to watch this. This seems really entertaining. And they were like, no, you're not watching this yet. You're watching all the old school stuff first, then you can watch the new stuff. So he made me love Rey Mysterio back in the day, Jeff Hardy, all those like high flying, like over the top guys. I just found them so amazing because I've never seen anything like that before. Like I used to love like superhero movies and all that stuff, and I was like, this is kind of like the same thing, except they're jumping off ladders and not flying through the sky. So I always thought it was so interesting, and I remember like just kind of pushing it to a side for a bit and thinking, no, girls don't really wrestle unless you're like a model or a cheerleader. And I was like, well, I don't look like that, unfortunately. So I just kind of stuck to like football and other sports in school. And then I remember in my last year in year 11, I was like, oh, what's the harm in trying it? I'll find somewhere to do it. And there wasn't anything that I could find beforehand other than Norwich. So I had booked in for a summer camp the year after because I just turned 17. But they had nothing until that August the next year. And then I didn't find Reach until February that year. I saw their TNR poster for an 18+ show, but I wasn't old enough to get into it, so I had to wait. But I searched up the Reach Wrestling name. I was like, do you guys have like a wrestling school? And they said, yes. I missed my brother's 21st birthday to go do my first ever training session, which he was like, that's fine because it's wrestling. I'll excuse it. He's the proper fanboy one, so it was okay. And I remember going there and I thought, oh, I'm not gonna be the only beginner. It's like a taster session. It's fine. I get there, and everyone that's already been training there, like Joey Seven, and like Taylor Aurora has already sat there. I'm like, oh no, I'm the only beginner. And I had hope because there was one other guy there called Dom, and it was his first day, but he had trained elsewhere. So he wasn't new. So I was like, damn it, I'm gonna be killed today because I'm the only person that's not done this before. And I remember like instantly, it was like very much a family vibe, but they like to test you a lot. And I think the main reason I went back is that I hate people being right because I'm quite stubborn. So I had to prove Jason King wrong because he kept telling me that I definitely wouldn't come back. I definitely quit. And I was like, oh, this guy's a knobhead. So I was like, right, well, I'm coming back at least once. And I came back again and I was like, oh, actually, I really like this. I was like, that bastard wheeled me in. How dare he?
I was going to say, do you think he was doing that on purpose to try and push you?
Yeah, I think he was thinking, like, if I can see if I can get her to quit, I'll see if she actually wants to do this or not. And he did that with a few people, and some of them would quit, and he'd be like, yeah, you weren't going to make it then. But then I remember I brought my friend, which is Ruby. I've known her since I was 15, and I brought her with me because she wanted to try something new. And he spent the whole session being like, yeah, you're not a wrestling fan, you should just quit. To see if she would, and she's just as stubborn as me. So she was like, absolutely not. I think it's a woman thing, maybe, it's fine. But more often than not, it's the girls, because we've had quite a few girls come and go that are just like, no. So I think he's trying to get some women that really want to do this. And now we've got quite a few now that are training really hard and that are going to be coming through soon. So that's going to be really exciting to see, because for quite some time it's only been the four of us. So it'll be nice to have some like fresh new faces to finally wrestle in that ring, because you can only see like Ruby versus LA Taylor and Echo versus Aurora so many times before you think, I've already seen this a lot, which is fine when it's branched out, but when like there's only four of us in the Southwest, you want to see something different and fresh. So there's like quite a few new girls coming through. It'll be nice to see them get some debuts in. Hopefully this year, if not very early next year, because they're not far off.
Bring Chantel Jordan back down there, because I know she competed at Reach for a little while.
She's someone I want to face really badly. She's only like 18, 19. I'm like, that's mad. How are you so good already? I wish I was that good at just like 16, 18. I would have been mad. I'd be like, yes. Like Millie McKenzie, she's like 22 now, smashing it. She's like 16. That's crazy.
The Bruiserweight. She is fantastic. Obviously, she has some amazing trainers, and so is yourself. Got a legend, Eddie Ryan. What's it like being trained by somebody with that much experience behind him?
He has got so much knowledge, and it's honestly amazing, because all the coaches teach something different, but he brings like that more experienced side to the academy. So like anything that needs polishing, he can like help you straight away. Like we did some drills that he learned from like the performance center and things that they look for, and like that was really like helpful knowledge to like pass through to us. And everything he does is so like, it's just perfect. Like he'll demonstrate stuff. I'm like it's not going to be looking like that when I do it, but oh my god, it looks amazing. And I watched his match at Reach Tavistock literally yesterday, and I was watching him versus Josh Knott, and I'm like that is some good wrestling right there. And like both of them, like he did a seminar, Country Big Josh Knott did a seminar on Saturday. I'm like, these two just wrestle amazing. Like they're two really good coaches. They teach so well, and everything they've done, they've been wrestling for both of them for like 10 to 20 years. I don't know how long it is specifically, just in that bracket, and they're both just amazing. And having someone like Eddie teaching there like full time is honestly like amazing stuff. And he does mainly Thursday sessions, which is really annoying, because more often than not I work a Thursday. And the one Thursday I do have off this month, I'm going to watch Multiverse Madness because I'm a nerd. So it's upsetting times, but I'll find a way. I'll get someone to cover shit, because his sessions are honestly really fun, and they are very, very helpful.
We're big nerds too. So you're going to watch the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. Which one's your favorite Marvel movie so far?
Well, I really like all of them. Well, I like 5. But I love Thor Ragnarok because it was just really funny, and all the characters they brought into it I just loved. And I also think Doctor Strange, like the original one, is really underrated. I really love that movie. And I also, new-wise, I love Shang-Chi. That was a really good one for me. I really thought like all the visual effects, the story, I thought it was just enough backstory, not too much to like dwell on it. and I just loved the outcome, like that dragon thing, amazing, loved
And
it.
the fight scenes were incredible.
Yeah, like everything they did, I was like, this is a really good Marvel movie. They just didn't hype it up, so I just didn't know what to expect. So I was like, oh, just a new one. I watched it, I was like, oh, I love this.
I've only just watched WandaVision the last week.
My partner's watching it next door because he hasn't watched it, and I'm like, you've got to watch it before Thursday. She's not going to understand what's happening.
Yeah, so I'm glad I've watched that to catch up ahead of time. But I am
It's
looking
good.
forward to Moon Knight.
Oh, we haven't started that one yet. We've got like 2 episodes left of Hawkeye, so we want to finish that, and then we're going to start Moon Knight. But everyone's like raving on it already, and I'm like, I just want to watch it. Need to hurry up. Need to rush myself and get it over and done with.
You'll have to tune in because we've laid out a challenge to Danny Black, Callum Newman, Maverick Mayhew, and Just Joe Lando, who are a bunch of geeks themselves. So we decided that we would challenge them to a geek quiz that is going to be happening soon. At some point, we need to get the dates sorted, but that's going to be so much fun.
We do love a geek quiz. I love all that nerdy stuff. Love Marvel. Love Harry Potter, Star Wars a lot. Love it. Love it.
Excellent.
How can you not love this girl?
I look like a weirdo. That's why.
No.
Hair.
Not in the least.
Your hair suits your wrestling style.
It's just different, isn't it?
It's got to stand out.
No one else has it. I think one girl, she has it in London. I was like, damn it, everyone else, the only one. But
Candy Floss.
Candy Floss had it. There's someone called like Bo or something like that up in London.
Bo Bells.
Yes, she has the pink and blue hair. I was like, to be fair, it looks really good, so I'll take it. But there's more than room for more. I can make a faction of it one day.
It is upkeep though. It is effort when you try and
already
keep your
coming
hair colour.
through. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it fully in the middle, but we try and as you can see, there's pink and blue on the wrong side. But
Nobody noticed. It's fine. It's fine.
how would they know?
Exactly. So I've got a question for you. We've chatted about some of your trainers. We've chatted about some new up and comers. Let's talk history. It doesn't have to be history. It can be current. But who is your top 4 British wrestlers? Americans have Mount Rushmore. We have Mount Rushton because we're in England. So who would you have on your Mount Rushton of British wrestlers?
I think we'll do a mix of like a bit of old school, bit of current. I think top would like if Paige was ever cleared, that would be top tier because she made me love women's wrestling again. Because I used to love Beth Phoenix and like Natalia, but then when she came through, I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. I want to be like her one day and just come from a little town and go everywhere. So I say top would be Paige, and like her family's awesome as well. I think Sweet Saraya would come like a close second, to be fair, because I've always said like I would love to wrestle someone with her knowledge because I would learn so much from that match. And she's the nicest woman as well. She was so lovely when I first met her. Oh, two more. This is a hard decision. There's so many good people in the UK. It's going to be a difficult one. I'd say, no, I wouldn't say that person because I think they'd kill me. I would like to have a match with Lee Hunter, which is a really random, out of the blue one. I've met him twice at Reach shows, and everything he does is like amazing. And I'm like, he does like similar movesets to me, like quite a high flyer, and I just think he's awesome. So I would love to have like a match with him and see if I could keep up. I probably couldn't, like conditioning wise, that man never gets blown. But I would love to have a match with Lee Hunter, which is such a random out of the blue one. So I'd say he's up there because we're not just doing females, we're doing males as well. And then, I would say, decisions. I'd say just a close to home one would be Joey Seven. He's just come back from an injury, and he was like the first guy to ever come through the Reach Academy. And I think just to have like a match one-on-one or even like a tag with him would be amazing, just because he's helped so many of us come through the academy, like with the experience that he's had firsthand, because he started out in that same position as we did down the south. I would love to have a match with him as well.
That's cool.
4 random choices.
No, they're good ones. Sweet Saraya has just been announced as having a match against Chelsea Green at the WWE show this October, which should be pretty special.
She's just, I don't know how she still does it. I think I'll be old and decrepit by it to her age, and I'll just be stiff. but she's still just as good as when she first started. I'm like, that's mad. She's honestly truly lovely.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge show for WAW because not only the Chelsea Green, but you've got Matt Cardona versus Ricky Knight Jr.
That's going to be another match, actually. Ricky Knight Jr. is really good.
He is.
One of the best in the
Like
country
his dad,
right
really,
now.
isn't it?
There's so much great talent in British wrestling right now, and so many great reasons to get behind British wrestling.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
And so many shows all over the UK. We're quite lucky because Andy's based up north, I'm down south, so we get to cover a lot of areas.
Get the mixture, best of both.
Yeah. I haven't travelled quite as far as you. The furthest I've done is Lancashire up for the LWF. But what's the furthest you've travelled so far for wrestling?
I'll think geography now. I think most of the time the furthest I go is Oxford and Gloucester, but I guess the furthest so far would be Wales. I guess Slammsaters so far. I think everywhere else has just been just below. So I guess Slammsaters up in I think it's called Pontyclun. It's near Cardiff. That's all I remember. It's that part of Wales. I say that's probably the furthest. I think. Oh no, I lie. I've been to Norwich. Idiot. Been to Norwich.
That would be a mission.
Yeah, it was a very long coach journey, but it was rewarding. And the second time I went was up with Ellie Taylor and Jason King, and we did a Bellatrix Academy show there, and that was fun. I was the heel for the first time ever in my career, and I was like 17, so I was like, I tried.
Enjoy being a heel?
It's on YouTube. You can watch it anywhere. I barely do a thing, but I've done something. It was an enjoyable match. It was like a 10-woman elimination match.
Now, you mentioned Slam Masters. You are heading back to Slam Masters this weekend in Pontyclun for Cross the Line, where you will once again be facing Mariah May for their women's championship, though. So, and against LA Taylor again.
I love LA Taylor, but we both want the belt. Whichever one of us comes in with it, one of us will bring it back down to the south. One of us has taken that off Mariah, hopefully.
So any message for the two women?
Mariah, just please don't cheat this time, innit? Like, can you win fairly? That would be nice to have one fair win over me, then I'll say, fair enough, you're better than me. But if you're going to keep cheating, then we'll never know. And then LA Taylor, we have history, but we can put that aside and take out the proper enemy,
Work together for the greater good.
Work together against the bad boys.
Now, you're going to be working alongside a huge star, one of the greatest British wrestlers to ever lace his boots, Mr. Doug Williams. Oh, you did a Reach show. Were you at a Reach show for that one as well?
Yeah, I wrestled on the same show with him. Yeah, that was the Tavistock number 2. It was me versus Ellie Taylor and Doug Williams versus Joel Redman on that show.
That was good.
Very, very good. As it should have been. Who would have thought? Joel Redman, Doug Williams, good match. Didn't see that coming.
What I love about Joel Redman's matches is he gets such a reaction by doing so little.
He's good,
and that's not a negative thing to say. He's just
he just knows
so good.
What to do. He's just good at what he does. He hasn't got to do too much to do what he does best.
He's one of the best in the country, without a doubt. And I think he gets overlooked sometimes. He should be booked everywhere because, I just think he's a great wrestler. I'd love to see him against Jonathan Gresham in a pure wrestling match.
Very much like Joel Redman. He is a very underrated wrestler. He wrestles like triple digits every year just for like James Mason and that. And he's very overlooked. I think it's because of his age, bless him. But he's 6 foot tall. He's in good shape and he's bloody massive and he's good at what he does. He does a lot of athletic stuff. And you wouldn't think it from a guy that's over 6 foot. Keaton Fox is one to watch. He's amazing. Same with Country Big Josh Knott. Massive heavyweight, but works so smoothly in the ring.
He's a big boy, Country Big. The name suits him so well.
Yeah, it's a funny story. I'll let him tell you that one day.
We'll have to get him on.
There are some great heavyweights coming back to the UK scene at the moment, and I
Natural
personally,
heavyweights.
Yeah, I like heavyweight wrestling. I'm a big guy myself. I love seeing the big heavyweights.
no one else looks like him half the time. So it's like, why wouldn't you like use that? Just it's amazing.
And you'll get to see man like Dries do his thing live because he will be at the show as well. And I
Is
love
that the
watching.
last one we did? I never met him to that point, and I was like, "Who's that out there singing?" And I was like, "Oh, Dries, fair enough." It was really cool. Never seen it before. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yes, the crowd pipe.
Yeah, no one else is doing it, so I was like, "That's good, man." I wish I could rap, but I can't be that good. It wouldn't be as good as that. I can tell you that now.
He really has got his entrance down. There are some great entrances in British wrestling at the moment, though, aren't there?
Yeah, mine's terrible, but I just come and go, please, yeah. Please.
But they do.
Have you nailed your pose yet?
It kind of changes every time. Usually it's like, am I ready or not? If not, it's like, eh. If I don't get nice wrestling pictures, I don't have that photogenic face where I look nice all the time. I've just looked at the PW ones and I'm always like this. I haven't mastered the straight face yet. I just can't do it. So I might take a moves. I'm like, I'm not good at taking pictures, unfortunately.
But you're very good at wrestling, and that's what matters.
I'll take good at wrestling, but pictures not so much. I haven't got that one down. One or the other.
How much promo training do you guys do? Do you do like a session of promos every week or anything like that?
I think we do one like once a month. It just depends who's available to do one. So we've done some with Jason King. We've done some with Eddie Ryan. We did one with Taylor and Aurora because they both have like acting experience and improv experience. So they helped like improv like a class, and that helped a lot. And some of the stuff that was said was funny. I missed one of them, but I'm gonna expose him. Lucky the wrestler, he did a promo and he forgot the word for waist. So he's like, and your championship right around my belly. And I was like, that is amazing. Like you can easily do that in a promo, but he just forgot the word for waist. He's like, belly. I was like, you could use it. It's funny. I wish I saw it, but I didn't. I just heard about it and everyone was laughing.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I'm not very good at promos. I think it just depends. Like if they're like live, then like the pressure's on you, so you kind of have to do good. So I prefer it that way. Whereas like if it's like in a class or like you're being filmed and you can do a retake, I'm like, it's not so much pressure. So then it's just not as good. And it's just like, blah, 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 like that. Can't get my words out half the time.
I'm sure you'll nail it soon.
I'll come and practice it.
I shall do a quick interview with you after the next PEW show.
Why not? Okay, so where can people buy your merch?
What's it called? It's called Echo Read Big Cartel, I'm guessing. I can probably send the link and you guys can get it on the YouTube video. Yeah, there's t-shirts, signed 8x10s and some stickers. And if you buy 2 8x10s or a t-shirt, you get a sticker for free.
The stickers were very cool.
They're really cute and tiny, and they're only £1. They're like, it's my little face.
It's only you and Dries I've seen doing really good stickers so far, so you're definitely nailing it there.
Wait till you see Aurora. She's got those shiny ones, and she's like this in it. We do
got
love
the Pokemon shiny stickers.
My suitcase is full of some stickers. I could hold it up. It might blur. I have no idea. But I've got a few of the Southwest guys on my suitcase and their stickers.
We'll make sure to plug it on the YouTube video, and you can always click it on the when we tweet it out. So you can always click on in a comment or reply. What's it called? I'm too old for Twitter.
Me too. Half the time I don't understand how it works.
Yeah, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, no, Twitter's the one I don't understand. Instagram I can handle. Twitter I'm like, I don't know what to put out there. Same thing as Instagram. I don't know.
Wait, so you're moaning that Instagram's still old, and we're moaning that Instagram's too new. Now we just making us feel bad.
I barely use Facebook. I probably should, but it's just I usually just share it if I'm tagged or something. But I barely use my page. But I do look at it, just don't use it as much as I use Instagram and Twitter. I check Twitter, but I don't post on Twitter very often. Just don't know what to post.
Well, after making us feel old, I think we'll leave
Well, how
it
old do you think I am? I look like 15, but I'm not.
Using math, I'd guess you were 20.
Yes, I am. Nearly 21, 20 years old.
Yes, I have children older than you.
Nice.
I grew up when Undertaker made his debut. That's how old I am, and I'm not telling you any more than that.
When that was.
Ancient.
I'm not a historian. I ain't got a clue when that was. I just know it was before me.
And
Sorry.
with that, ladies and
Sorry.
gentlemen, don't feed the trolls.